The Houston Texans did something that I don't know if I didn't expect. And I think part of it is because when, there's been a lot of coverage on CJ Stroud and him talking and getting upset when a certain wide receiver was taken and then saying, that's all right, we're probably going to draft another wide receiver anyway. And then the Texans ended up not drafting another wide receiver, but they did add to their wide receiver room. And you know what season it is? It's undrafted free agent season. And they have added not one, but two mystery men that I think nobody knows about. And I'm not sure if there's going to end up being room in this wide receiver class for both of them, maybe one of them. But I am very intrigued by these two guys. I'm going to give a comp of who they comp to and the unique situation they came from. So the Texans have gone and they have added a set of twins from South Dakota State. So many of you may not know South Dakota State. I believe that is the Jackrabbits. All right. I believe that is the Jackrabbits. And according to reports, Houston has signed wide receivers Jaden and Jackson Yonke, is how it's pronounced. At least when I'm watching highlights, that's how the announcers are pronouncing it. Now look at the numbers these guys finished with. Jaden finished his career with 2,800 yards on 170 catches. That's an insane amount of yards in college football. That is an insane amount of yards. Now, they've been around for a long time thanks to COVID and all that kind of stuff. His brother recorded 3,677 yards on 244 receptions. This is nuts. So let's find out a little bit about these twins and if they actually have a chance of being there. All right, so here's kind of what their strengths are. And as you might, imagine, they're very similar. All right. So both of them stand at 6'2". They have good size. They're over 200 pounds. All right. They're guys that, of course, have toughness. They work back well on underthrows. They shift gears well. They have excellent body control and footwork in tight quarters. Like all of these things. Needs to prove he can uncover against NFL man coverage. By the way, every receiver needs to prove that. Good hands, but trouble rescuing off-frame throws. Doesn't offer much help as a run blocker in the slot. All right? That needs to change. With their size and profile, that needs to happen. All right, Jackson, the better of the two brothers, the more productive of the two brothers, plays with focus as a downfield ball tracker, excellent high point timing, catches with quick hands and maximizes his catch radius, all that good stuff. All right, so here's my question. Are they athletic enough? Because you see them. There are a couple of guys from South Dakota State. You have to ask the question, are they athletic enough? And I have a good comp for you, but first let's check it out. And we'll start with Jaden Yonke. He is a RAS score, RAS of 6.79. That's nothing that is going to wow you. His size is great. All right, his speed is good. That's enough. That is enough. 4.53, that's much faster than like Keon Coleman. And that's faster than Brendan Rice ran. I mean, that's faster than a lot of wide receivers ran. As you might imagine, his brother Jackson almost has the exact same athletic profile. Almost the exact same. He's a little bit bigger weight-wise, all right? And, but not stronger, by the way. He's 2 pounds heavier, but did 3 less on the bench and slightly slower. So when I was watching the tape of these guys, I'm like, what kind of hope? What kind of hope can we bring, right? Like, how can I bring hope to the Texans fans? And by the way, this is a good time. If you haven't yet seen this channel, we are Lions fans. You see all the Lions stuff back there and some others. Don't worry, there's a Texans helmet right there. But we love teams that the NFL national media kind of ignores, and we feel like the Texans were that. So we started recording on them about a year ago because we thought this was a team on the upswing, and boy, oh boy, did that pay off well. It has been a blast talking Texans football on this channel. So like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. So I have a comparison for you. If you wonder, are they good enough? Someone that tested almost the exact same is a wide receiver out of BYU. You may have heard of him. His name is Puka Nacua. All right. This is a guy who also was in the same height and weight ratio, exact same bench press, almost the exact same vertical and broad jump, even worse agility. All right. And almost the exact same speed. Now, when you watch Puka play, you realize he has the athletic prowess to be able to succeed. And by the way, Puka Nacua plays in the same system as you have in Houston. All right? It's the same tree. All right? It's coming off the Shanahan, McVay tree with Slowick. That's the way it's going to work. So when you ask me, do they have the athletic ability? Yes, they do. Do they lack some agility? Yes. They're also a very large-bodied wide receiver. That's who they are. So the next question naturally has to come, is there room for them on the team? And when you look at this, there's some players that I think are guaranteed to be here, and then some players that just flat out are not. So your guarantees, no matter what, I don't see a world in where they're not on the team, are Tank Dell, even though there's this weird shooting, all that kind of stuff. I don't know much about that. But Tank Dell is a no matter what, he's on this team. Stephon Diggs is a no matter what, he's on this team. And Nico Collins is a no matter what, he's on this team. I think Noah Brown is close. John Mechie, maybe. Xavier Hutchinson, maybe. Right? I just, Robert Woods, almost likely not to be, depending on what they need for salary cap. So, unless he goes and shows out, maybe not. So, if you're going to keep 6 wide receivers, which a lot of teams do, there's room for one of these guys because one of them has to beat out a combination of Hutchinson, Woods, Brown, Mechie. That makes 7. So if they can get ahead of a couple of them, there actually is a chance to make this team. Now, Hutchinson, he flashed some things last year, but you see the grade, 128th out of 128 receivers. They didn't get what they wanted out of him. All right? Xavier Hutchinson was supposed to be that guy, that big-bodied wide receiver that you take and produces. I think both of these twins just flat out with their production might actually already have an edge over him. And then you have to ask yourself the question of, with Robert Woods, is he getting too long in the tooth? What does that look like for him going forward? They just signed Noah Brown, so I don't see him going anywhere, especially with the production that he had. So basically it's down to Woods and Mechie. Can they beat one of them out? And then if they do, they're on the team. So these are the mystery men, the Yonke brothers, from South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, that are quickly running in here, hoping to make an impact on this team. Hey, where else are you going to hear this news, right? Let's talk about the randos. It's that time of year. All right. Hey, football videos every single day of the year. Yes, even in the spring, even through the summer. All right. Keep watching here. Hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one.